Hey YouTube, my name is Nick, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about a really obscure feature of the Game Boy interface, and I'm not exactly sure if this is part of the Game Boy Player 2, but I know for sure it's something that you can do in the Game Boy interface. It's one of the supported features. And the way how I found out about this thing was actually from a comment on my video on Wario Ware Twisted, and I wanted to give credit to the person who left a comment on my video, which I looked into and researched a little bit upon. And this very niche and obscure feature doesn't seem to be very well known about, but basically there is a handful of GBA games that have support for Rumble, and what you could do is you can basically just plug in your copy of Wario Ware Twisted into your GBA and have that connect to your GameCube, and then with that, through the Game Boy interface with the list of supported titles, which I'll put up on the screen, will basically provide, I guess, some kind of feedback in the Game Boy Advance. So I luckily did just recently purchase this copy of Super Mario Advance 4, which is basically Super Mario Bros. 3 from the NES. It's remastered. And this is one of the supported titles that has Rumble. So I'm going to insert this cartridge into my GameCube right now. I need two hands. There we go. And I'm going to shut the lid and run the game save exploit to basically launch the Game Boy interface. So I'm going to scroll up here, and you can see Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. So I press A to start, and then the start button. And now I set the screen to progressive. Okay, here we go, loading up the Game Boy interface. And actually, let me reset. Just back out of that for a sec. So now I'm going to plug in my Game Boy Advance to control my GameCube. So here it is. There we go. So that is now hooked up to this. So I'll turn on my GBA. And now I'm going to reset my GameCube. Oh, and actually, I think I have to press both buttons to stop my Game Boy Advance from starting WarioWare. So I think, yep, we're good. Now it's working. It shows a white screen on my GBA, but it is working. So here's how you enable the setting. You have to start Super Mario Bros. 3. Oh wait, hold on a sec. Oh, sorry, it's on the game select screen. Here we go. See, Rumble is off. I'll set it to on. The Rumble feature function is only when the controller is inserted in slot 1 on the GameCube. Okay. Yep, I felt it. I felt it on the GBA, the Rumble. So that's pretty neat that you can use Wario Ware Twisted as a Rumble pack, so you get the authentic like D-pad and A and B buttons while also still experiencing Rumble, like as if it were an original GameCube controller. Because I'm pretty sure, I think, if you plug a GameCube controller, like a center one, like not like the Wavebird that I have, you will experience the Rumble while you play this game, for instance. So I backed up these save files already. So I'm just gonna delete the one with the least progress in it and just start over. Because I've never played this game from start to finish. So here we go, let's start level 1. So the Rumble did work, but I'm wondering, like, what's it gonna do in this game? Like, is it when I take damage it's gonna rumble? I picked up the power-up and that, oh yeah, so when you take damage it rumbles. That's what happens. I felt it, right when I hit that Goomba. Oh, I tried to break the piranha plant, didn't work. Yeah, so even when you go full sprint, it doesn't rumble, so I guess it's kind of limited. It might be better in something like, I think, Pokemon Pinball Ruby, because every time, Ruby and Sapphire, because every time you hit the bumpers, I would assume like that it would rumble, so it gives it more purpose, whereas in this game, I think it seems like the only rumbling you really feel is when you take damage, but I don't know. I'm going to play around a little more to try this obscure feature. It's probably why it's not really utilized much, is because most GBA games didn't have this support, because most likely, like, you know, who was playing their GBA games on their GameCube, right? They were designed for the Game Boy Advance, and the Game Boy Advance didn't natively have rumble, so why would you need it, right? But it's a pretty cool feature that is part of the Game Boy interface, even if it's not utilized much. I would document what all the other games do with their rumble, but I just don't have those copies of those games, so I just can't test them. But yeah, so it seems like in this game it's a little bit limited. It basically just rumbles when you take damage. That's what I can conclude. It'd be cool if, like, when you stomped on an enemy it also rumbled, but yeah. When I get a mushroom, I'll take damage, just so, I'll put the GBA close to my mic so you can hear it rumble. Oh! I messed up. It's all good. We'll try again. I was not expecting to die there. It was on... Yeah, that one. There we go. Okay, so... Oh, dang it, I crushed the Goomba. Okay, wait, I want to get rid of the wings. Okay. Now I'm going to put my GBA close to my mic. And now you hear it rumble when I take damage from the Goomba here. So I got my cartridge basically pressed right up against the mic. So yeah, that's pretty neat, actually. It might not seem like much, but hey, I mean, if it's part of the game, sure. It's nice to have. Kinda neat. So yeah, if you buy Wario Ware Twisted, and you have a supported GBA game in the list, then you could hook up your GBA and basically play with Rumble, which is pretty neat. I'll do one more level, and I think that'll be it for the video. It's pretty simple, straightforward. And it's a pretty niche feature. I just figure I'd try it out, see what it's like. It's pretty neat, because the D-pad on the GameCube controller, like, it works. I screwed that up. But, like, the D-pad on the GBA, or on the GameCube controller is, like, it works, but it's obviously not as good as on the actual GBA itself, right? So, this is pretty damn awesome. I mean, obviously you can play most GBA games with just the GBA connected to the GameCube like this, but the fact that you can have it rumble too is the thing that makes it unique, because it seems like that wasn't really a feature, at least not as far as I can tell. You can correct me if I'm wrong about that, if you could do this with the Game Boy Player disc. And again, I'm testing this in the Game Boy interface, so it might be different, but I'm not sure. Oh, I missed that mushroom. Look at that shell bounce. No, I'm not gonna fight you. And there you have it. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks, and Game Boy Advance. Until next time.